Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Kuhb Games YouTube channel. Water Week presses on, and today we have one of my favorite decks of the week, actually, and this is Plants. I've actually just taken this deck out onto the ladder a couple of times outside of like initial testing for it, just because it's so fun to play, so I'm really excited for this one. Getting into it, we have 3 copies of Lord Poison, we have 3 copies of Lacunga, which is not only a plant itself, but it makes more plants. So the plant that it makes is not really relevant to being, well, yeah, I guess it is actually relevant to being part of the plant typing, because we do have Fairy King Truesdale here that can buff the attack power of the plants. Lacunga, just a pretty good value card. It's big under Umiruka, it's big with Fairy King Truesdale boost, and it's, it's just one of the best water plants that we can be playing here. From there, we have 2 copies of Homunculus, the Alchemic Being, making its only appearance on Water Week, I believe. This card can be a water, so it can be boosted by Umiruka, but it is a plant, and it is a powerful one that we can bring back with 1800 attack points, so that's why it is being included in this one. And then we have 2 copies of the aforementioned Fairy King Truesdale. Of course, while this card is in defense position, all of your plant-type monsters gain 500 attack and defense. It is also a big plant monster that we can get back with Lord of Poison. Every time I've said that it's a big plant monster that we can get back, referring to Lacunga and Homunculus, I meant with Lord Poison, because Lord Poison can summon any of these from the graveyard. So sometimes you're going to set up some plays with this Abyss Soldier, where you just discard your Fairy King Truesdale, get it into the graveyard, and then you can follow up with a Lord Poison and just get a nice 2200 beater back. Maybe put it in defense, buff all of your plant-type monsters. Who knows? But Fairy King Truesdale, you have to include it in the plant decks. It's just a really sick card. Great artwork. Love the Prismatic Secret Rare. Yeah, definitely deserves its slot here in the plant deck. Of course, we have 2 copies of Abyss Soldier. We have 3 copies of Mama Bear, which is excellent because it can go grab Lord Poison, and then you can just keep getting all of your plant monsters back. We have 1 copy of Sinister Serpent, 1 Tribe, 1 Breaker as our good monsters. And then getting into the spells, we have 2 copies of Nobleman of Crossout. We have 2 copies of Creature Swap, which is excellent in this deck. We have Lacunga tokens, Lord Poison, Mother Grizzly, Sinister Serpent, all that we can give over to the opponent. Very nice. Of course, I have Trinity, Heavy Storm, Snatch Steal, MST, Premature Burial, and then I just opted for a very, very small package of field spells. We have 1 copy of Umiruka and 1 copy of Terraforming. They're definitely not necessary to the deck. They're just kind of there in case you want a little bit of a power boost. And then for traps, we have Solemn Judgment, Sakuretsu, Call of the Haunted, and Trap Trinity. Basically, just kind of like a regular aggro deck trap lineup. I thought that would be the most fitting here. Getting into the side, we've got a couple copies of Mobius, Asura Priest, we have our Yomi ship, our Little Swordsman, we have a Morphing Jar, which I took this idea, of course, from the Warrior decks that have been citing this. We have 2 Mystic Walks for Burn, Mind Control, Smashing Ground, a Book of Moon, Sakuretsu, 7 Tools, and a Compulse. So that's going to be the deck. Super hyped about this one. Let's get to the matches. All right, we are here with the first match. Dueling Book went down for a while today. I think it's so awesome that like every single time Dueling Book goes down for like an hour or so or whatever, everyone just jumps to the Doomsday conclusion. There we go. They're like, oh no, Konami finally did it. Dueling Book's gone forever. And then a couple hours later, it comes back up and everything goes back to normal. But yeah, I got some time to, edit a video, went outside, played some basketball. That's why my hair is up. So here, we've got a pretty good hand. We could just like lead on Abyss Soldier, pitch Sinister Serpent to send that back to the hand. It's probably some sort of a chainable. We could also pitch Fairy King Truesdale and summon Lord Poison, but I don't think we're going to do that. I'll summon out Abyss Soldier. Ask for the negate. Let's see if we're all good here. Okay. I'll go ahead and send Sinister Serpent to bounce this. If it is a chainable, then that's totally fine. Not really worried about it. We ditched the Sinister Serpent for free, so it's not like we're going -1 for no reason. And here, I think I'm actually just going to set MST. I don't think I need to set Sakuretsu behind Abyss Soldier. It's probably powerful enough that it'll be okay here. And this protects us from, Snatch Steal. We can MST a back row in our opponent's in phase, and then maybe if they set a monster as well, we can bounce that with Abyss Soldier. But we are going to have our MST hit with MST. I wonder if that's what they had set. That's totally possible. Reasoning. Oh boy. We don't really have many answers here, do we? So I think I'm actually going to call 6. because I can't answer Jinzo at all. But everything else I could potentially answer with the Sakuretsu armor. Okay, worth noting our opponent is playing Nobleman of Crossout and Delinquent Duo in their deck. If they hit like a Sacred Crane or something, obviously we don't care about that. Ah, we did hit the Jinzo, let's go. And we didn't put a light in the graveyard with the reasoning, so marked safe from Chaos Monster for now. In case we did see Megamorph as well, so there's a chance the opponent could be on Steingate. So getting the opponent to below 5,000 is a little bit of a priority here. See if we can make that happen. Well, there's the Cyberstein, so... So much for the plan of getting them below 5,000 very quickly. See what they want to go into here. We do have Sakuretsu for anything big. We are going into just the big old Master of Oz. We are going for damage, and here's the Snatch Steal, okay. Well, that's a lot of damage. But it's not lethal, and I imagine they don't have anything to pitch to Abyss Soldier. Okay, and unfortunately, I guess, yeah, if we draw our Heavy Storm, we can get this Abyss Soldier back and win. Umiruka! Oh, that does it! Assuming this attack goes through, I think there's probably a good chance it does, right? Like, that might just be Third Decree or something. Alright, alright. Summon out Lord Poison. See if this is okay with the opponent. Alright. Play Umiruka. Read life points that opponent. Hopefully this attack goes through. It's going to go right into Cyberstein. I realize I forgot my Serpent, but that's not going to be... that's not going to matter here. I saw the Umiruka and got excited. I'm like, oh, let's go, lethal. Alright. Sick Umiruka top deck there for lethal. Love to see that. We're going to bring in a Asura Priest. We'll bring in Yomi Ship. Maybe Smashing Ground. Maybe Saku. Maybe Compulse. Compulse is very good against Cyberstein. That is for sure. You can argue maybe we want Book of Moon here as well. I kind of don't want too many traps, but let's see what we have to cut here. We can definitely cut the Nox. We can cut Lakunga, probably. Lakunga might be a little bit better. Well, Lord Poison can get us into... that's not really going to work. Let's cut Lakunga and a Lord Poison, I think. Or, hold on. Let's leave in the Lord Poison, and we'll actually cut the creature swaps. Because they're definitely playing Scapegoat. We did see them, and I think that's totally fine, right? Maybe we want to bring in Book of Moon. I think we can leave in the Heavy Storm. We did see Decree. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, I'm just going to not cut any more monsters. And I think that's totally fine. We did up our number of traps by 2, even though we saw Decree, but that's all right. We actually didn't play any traps that game. Or we set one Sakuretsu, but the opponent didn't see what it was. So maybe, I don't know, maybe some little mind game in their head, they side out the Decrees or something. We'll see. I think this is totally fine. We just, we don't need the Lakunga because we're not really looking for that type of game where we're going to be sitting there making tokens to, help with card advantage, stuff like that. This hand really, really wants the opponent to not have exactly turn 1 Royal Decree. If they don't have the Decree, I think this hand's totally fine. If they do, obviously this hand's just terrible. But maybe we draw into an MST, maybe we draw into the Breaker. Can bounce Decree with Abyss Soldier as well if that comes up. Serial Spell, okay. Love to see a Serial Spell, big fan of that. If you all have seen the DMOC launch video. All right, we see one back row. Really, oh man, another trap. Yeah, boy. Okay, well, really hoping this isn't a Decree. But I'm going to summon out Mother Grizzly. See if this is good. If it's a Scapegoat, that's fine. It is, okay, okay. Safe from Decree with our 5 trap hand. Yeah, I will go ahead and clear a Scapegoat. And I'm just going to set all 5. We have the ring as the chainable. We can always clear a spot if we need to here. If the opponent true nades, it's bad news for us. I don't think I would Solemn a True Nade here. I would Solemn Heavy Storm, obviously. But they did discard 1 True Nade. Yeah, there's the Heavy Storm. Where's my Solemn? Here it is. Having to Solemn a Heavy Storm, you know, it doesn't feel amazing against RGT, obviously, because you have to pay a whole bunch of life points, and that just plays into the RGT player's plan. But if we're protecting, you know, just an absolutely insane amount of traps, the same number of traps our opponent has in hand, could work out really well here. Of course, the problem is the opponent could go into a Jinzo off of a Monster Gate or something like that. But the opponent is going to generously give us extra 1,000 life points. Oh, if they go into Jinzo, we can always Mother Grizzly into Yomi ship and take it out. Oh, Umiruka? Okay, it's back. That could very well be a decree. And that would be a problem because our judgment is gone. But here's my Umiruka. The Mama Bear grows large. I'll go ahead and attack one of these tokens. And I will pass the turn. And hope for no decree. We'll probably see here on this turn if it is decree or not. Or, okay. I guess maybe the opponent just doesn't have much to do. We draw a Primo, which isn't doing anything right now, but it could in the future. Would also like to point out just how pretty Umiruka is as the background here on Dueling Book. The Legendary Ocean also looks very nice, but I don't know. I think I might like Umiruka even more. Like, this wave here in the middle just lines up perfectly with this. Okay, now the time for decision. I think I'm actually going to ring the goat token so they can't monster gate it here. Yeah. Or I guess there wasn't any time for the Solemn Judgment decision. That was already made by our Solemn Judgment getting yeeted by Heavy Storm. But we've got Mother Grizzly. There's a good chance we don't die to anything here. Yeah, okay. So Giant Trunade comes down, just bounces everything. Ooh. Fairy King Truesdale, you say? We've got a lot of damage here. This would be 27 plus 19. It's 4,600. It would get the opponent out of Stein range, which is pretty nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm down for that. Here's my Fairy King Truesdale making an appearance on the board. Alright, and Premature Burial. I'm just not going to play around Torrential Tribute or anything like that. Mother Grizzly coming on down. And we'll play out the Umiruka. Alright, and hope for no second Scapegoat here. Would love to push this damage through. Okay, it is another Scapegoat. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and we're just going to reset everything and pass the turn. Hopefully the opponent doesn't get into a Jinzo. I guess if they do get into a Jinzo, Fairy King Truesdale clears that now. Nice 2,700 beater. Umiruka kind of goes hard in this deck. Nobleman of Extermination. Okay. We lose our Torrential, which I'm actually kind of happy we lose that instead of the Sakuretsu's here, because I, you know, like to keep my board. Pretty good, I guess. Okay, there's Monster Gate. Stein can get Gatling Dragon, which could be a problem. There goes Duo. Toon Cannon Soldier I don't care about at all. So pretty happy to see that one. It's coming down in attack position, though. So maybe they just have another Monster Gate, but I feel like you'd Monster Gate the token away, right? They could just be tributing for Jinzo as well, and the position may not matter. We'll see. I don't do this often, but I'm going to move the Premature Burial. Oh, they don't have anything? We're going to pick up this first game? Wow. What a short one. But, I mean, put Fairy King Truesdale on the board. You don't get to do that every day. You get to see the power of Umiruka here, too? Okay. All right. I'm down, but going to be a little bit of a short one to start this video. That's okay. We got the aggro deck coming in here with plants. Let's grab another one. All right, second match is here, playing against Dirty Plays. Hopefully we don't get hit with any Dirty Plays. We outlasted the RGT deck, so maybe the Dirty Plays are past us. Well, they didn't actually really make any Dirty Plays. And I mean like dirty, not as in cheating here, but just like RGT can do some nasty stuff, right? All right, we see a couple of back row from the opponent in the pass. And, alright, don't mind drawing a Solemn Judgment here. Creature swap's excellent in this hand. Would be nice to find a way to get Fairy King Truesdale to the grave. But, that's okay. I'm just going to summon out Mama Bear. See if we can get in. Torrential Tribute, alright. That makes sense to me. I'm going to set the Solemn Judgment. I'm just going to pass the turn. And all right, we're going to lose the Solemn Judgment. Cool. Maybe the opponent summons something out here. Now that Mother Grizzly has been vanquished, what are the chances we have another in hand, right? Duo? Okay. All right, they hit the creature swap. That's kind of unfortunate. But we'll let that go to the graveyard, and I'm just going to ditch Fairy King Truesdale. We can get this back with Lord Poison. Anytime you discard something like Fairy King Truesdale, opponent immediately viewing graveyard. Oh no, Rhoda? Donald? Both of these are really good against Dawn. So... hopefully that's not a Sakuretsu armor back there. Alright, Mother Grizzly's even better against Dawn than Lord Poison, so... the opponent has definitely taken the lead here in this game. Duo into Dawn is disgusting. But, you know, maybe Mama Bear can pull this back a little bit. Okay. A duo of our own. Don't want to throw that off first. I feel like I actually kind of want to attack first. So, like, yeah, maybe the opponent decides, maybe I don't want to protect the Dawn here. I don't know. Solemn Judgment, the Mother Grizzly. Okay. I understand it, but I'm kind of okay with this. And now I'm just going to slam down the Delinquent Duo. Ooh, hit BLS Kaiku? Okay. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I was supposed to lead on Duo. Maybe the opponent Solemn Judgments it there, but I feel like they probably don't. All right, we just need to find our third Grizzly, Lord Poison, Premature Burial, something like that. Or just like anything to run over the Dawn, honestly. Okay, Sakuretsu's fine as well. I'll set that. I may actually take another 1400 from Dawn, just because Dawn is a monster that we can so easily deal with. Like, every monster in the deck, except for Sinister Serpent, deals with it, right? Even, like, Sinister Serpent, you know, sits there and just absorbs attacks forever as well, so I'm okay with this. I think, actually, I would rather have... Uh-oh. Oh, we just misclicked. Okay. Yeah, I'll take another 14. One more time, and then we'll Saku on the next turn. Creature swap, Snatch Steal. Oh, well, maybe I would have liked to have had the Snatch Steal, but it's okay. All right, well, there's the Serpent. That can start absorbing attacks. We'll go ahead and set it. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a knock over there, but we'll see. If they do, we'll just Saku this Dawn and be done with it. It's unfortunate that the opponent didn't... that Sinister Serpent was our next card, and our opponent didn't mill us into the Serpent, but that's okay. Okay, Judgment's not bad. Get our Serpent back here. We're safe from Trap Dust Shoot till the end of time, so that's pretty nice. Set Judgment to go with our Saku, but right now I'm okay with just leaving this Dawn on the board. Another back row from the opponent. Okay. Still no other monster, though. Alright, Mirror Force also good. So we're just kind of in this little state where neither player can break through. We're just going to be, both of us, you know, building up cards, building up resources. And the opponent is a little bit ahead in that. They're only ahead by a card in a full turn cycle, but that's alright. We can find a way to get there. As soon as we can clear this Dawn through battle or something like that, pick up our +1, we get that plus back. Oh, there's the knock. Yeah, I'm just going to let the Serpent go. I'm not going to Solemn Judgment that. I don't think there's really a need to. And I'll go ahead and Saku the Dawn. This keeps us out of ring range. Opponent's going to Solemn. They go to 1750. Yeah, I'm not going to Solemn back. I'll take the 1400. That's fine. If we find any monster that can deal with the Dawn, then we can Solemn, like, their battle trap or something. And we do have another trap to take care of it next turn. So, I'm okay with this. And we can Solemn the ring if they do find a ring. Oh, here's Abyss Soldier. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Alright, throw it down. We don't have a read on these back row at all. Alright, attack into Dawn. And Mirror Force. Do I want to protect the Abyss Soldier? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to let it go. Yeah, this is fine. Let the Abyss Soldier go. I'll Mirror Force the Dawn. We get to keep our Solemn Judgment around. If the opponent finds another monster, maybe they summon it. All right, Dawn has been cleared. Also want to just, you know, keep the Solemn Judgment for a ring or something. Want to checking out the graveyard. Got a lot of waters in there. One knock is gone. Tribe. I'm going to go ahead and Judgment that. Here's where I'll use the Judgment because that's a lethal threat and this is my only answer. Are we going to Solemn back? Okay. So this is probably Solemn Judgment over here. Oh, Breaker? Well, they probably have to Solemn Breaker. No? Do we go for lethal? Probably not. Probably not. No, they still have their Sakus. All right. I'm going to hit this set here. Maybe this isn't Solemn. Oh, we hit the Saku? Okay. I'm just going to attack. I don't think holding back is really what's going to get us there. All right, we get the opponent down to 150. Come on. Hold. Hold. We got dirty plays. The GG, that's what we've got. Okay. Okay. We come back from duo Dawn hit. Man, we were way behind in card advantage there for a little bit. Love to see that. So let's bring in our Yomi ship. We'll bring in 7 tools, Sakuretsu. Maybe when we want Smashing Ground. Maybe we want Mobius. I just don't like Mobius against the Solemn Judgment decks. I think Mobius is mostly just here for burn. We can take out the Nox. Lacunga, I do think is good against Warriors. Maybe we actually just cut a Fairy King Truesdale because we don't really want it sitting there in defense. Though it is a big beater to go along with Lord Poison, but that's okay. I do like Umiruka here. Maybe we do cut one. Maybe we just don't bring in the Smashing Ground. I get behind that. Leaving our Lacungas. Maybe I am supposed to cut a Lacunga because like 1700 is not the best, but it does work well with Lord Poison. Keeps our plant count up. It does help with, you know, a little bit of the attrition battle where we're going to be fighting through Sakuretsus and stuff like that. So we'll keep in the Tentacle Boy. All right, here we go. We got a duo and a Graceful Charity with a Serpent. Opponent leading on Pot of Greed. That's fair. That's fair. And Graceful. All right. I think our Graceful should be a little bit more impactful because we have Sinister Serpent in our deck. But, you know, maybe the opponent sided into Library and we're just going to die. What do we have, opponent? Sasuke. Sure. And Jinzo. Okay. I wasn't expecting that one. Please don't just like Prima Jinzo turn 1. That would be bad. Would not be good for me. Just set 2. Okay, no Trap Dust Shoot, please. There's Mother Grizzly. All right. Marked safe from Trap Dust Shoot. I think I am going to duo first still. All right. We get the thumbs up. Let's take care of this one. Maybe we hit a BLS with it again. Smashing Ground. Okay, I'm fine with that leaving as well. And what else are we discarding? Exiled Force. Fine with that one leaving too. Okay. Pretty happy with that. Just go ahead and slam down our Graceful Charity. Oh. Judgment? That'd be a risky Judgment. Okay, we pick up Lord Poison and Yomi ship. Not bad. Let's discard Sinister Serpent. And I think Lord Poison could still be good here. Do we actually just get rid of Umiruka? Yeah. We could get rid of Yomi ship, but Umiruka makes us, like, it does make the monsters just continually bigger, but it's also the one card in our hand that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the Umiruka. I'm just going to keep all of my removal in my monsters. I think that's fine. And I'm going to lead on Mama Bear. I could just set it, but I think we can, yeah, we can find plants for Lord Poison. I think we could wade through the Sakuretsus and stuff like that. Yeah, there's one Saku. That's fine. I'm going to set my Sakus here and pass the turn. Okay. Okay. I definitely didn't have to set both, but yeah, I'm going to be punished here. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have too much to follow this up. Blotty, sure. Can we boost it? Pretty powerful. This card's quite good. Can't boost it, so only 1600 Blade Knight with no more sets. Okay. All right. We draw Abyss Soldier, which is pretty nice. Let's get our Serpent back to hand. And what do I want to do here? I could just bounce this. May as well, right? And then the opponent can't use it on the next turn. Sure, like, they can just reflip it and hit both of these, but then, like, if they have a monster that's big enough to attack over Abyss Soldier, I still have the opportunity to use Saku. So this is pretty good. Opponent already had Dark Light. We don't really care about that. We'll just pass the turn here. Abyss Soldier coming in clutch. Gotta make a mental note to remember the Sinister Serpent here. Okay. 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 Of all the back row. And Prima. Okay, well that's going to be for Jinzo. Ask for the target, but I'd imagine it's just going to be, yeah, it's going to be Jinzo. Okay, that's fine. We have Yomi ship to take care of that. Now, obviously, if the opponent has a knock, that's not going to work out, but I feel like seeing the way they sided, maybe they actually took the knocks out. If, unfortunately, Yomi ship doesn't work the same way as Newdoria, so we do need them to attack with Jinzo. Thing is here, though, Jinzo's turning off their traps too. So, I don't know. We can figure something out here. I really don't want to attack the Jinzo with the Yomi ship. That doesn't make sense, because then they just flip Zings and Hu. We're going to tribute Jinzo for Mobius? Okay. All right. Well, this opponent does not like traps. That's okay. We draw Solemn Judgment. That's pretty good. Let's get our Serpent back. Maybe the opponent thinks we're setting Serpent here, but I'm actually going to set Yomi ship now. Set that. I'm going to set Solemn Judgment as well. If they want to Zing, they can lock down one of their own. That's fine with me. Okay, they have a Dust Tornado? Sure. So, as long as they don't have another monster here, we have an out to their one monster. Okay. Awesome. Get this Mobius out of here. Their Zing Zinhu is turned off. So they're kind of down a card there. The only problem is we don't have a plant. Yeah, we don't have a plant in the graveyard for Lord Poison, so that's kind of turned off. Maybe we can wall up for a little bit with Sinister Serpent. Get some cards back. Ring of Destruction, though. That's a good one. Maybe I will just summon Lord Poison then. Well, I guess they can turn off the ring, right? But then that locks down their stuff too. But then I don't get any value out of Lord Poison at all. A little balancing act here. What do I want to do? I think I'm just going to set the Serpent and set Ring and see what they want to do. Okay, they're not going to lock down the ring. Sure. Blade Knight. That's fine. I'll let that go. And yeah, I'm not going to activate the ring yet. Just going to let the Serpent go. And we can just kind of do this. Ah, oh, the terraforming? No! The Umiruka's in the graveyard. Alright. Alright. We'll get Serpent back. And... I could set this and pull out the Zing and then just ring Blade Knight, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm going to set this, and I'm going to let that... I'm just going to let that card be dead. And maybe they get to a point where they're like, okay, well, now I'm willing to give up my back row for yours, and I can just flip ring because it's a chainable. Interesting game here. Yep, Blade Knight coming in, that's fine. Lose the Serpent. I'm fine to do this for a while. MST, okay. I really don't want to set that into Zing, of course. Alright, yeah, let's just set Serpent again. I think that's fine. I could set Terraforming, pull out the Zing now, and then just MST it later, but maybe I want this MST for something else. I'm just fine. I'm fine with the current status quo, so we'll just keep it going. Yeah, Blade Knight keeps coming in, that's fine. I'll keep getting my Sinister Serpent back every single turn. Snatch, there we go, there we go. Alright, let's get Serpent back. Unfortunately, I can't really boost the Blade Knight, so do I wait for something else? Probably not. I'll probably just take it. Yeah, I'll just take the Blade Knight here. I can protect it with Ring, whatever I want to do. I mean, I can boost it, right? If I really want to, but I don't think that's the play. I'm just going to attack here. Widespread Ruin, that's fine, yeah. Alright, so we set up a +1. We know this is Zing Zinhu right here. So this is awesome. We'll just set Sinister Serpent, pass the turn. This is a dead card. We're doing just fine on card advantage. We've got Sinister Serpent here that can just block, absorb attacks forever. And eventually we'll draw into something to go with Lord Poison, and we can throw it out. Maybe we draw into like a creature swap or something for when the opponent finally gets a monster. The way this goes wrong, of course, is if the opponent is able to slam a BLS, but we do have ring for that. It does put us down to 1800, so we're in ring range from the opponent for a lot of their monsters, but so be it, right? I will have to pressure soon. Oh, 7 tools. 7 tools is a good one. I could just summon out Lord Poison here. If they torrential, it's not the end of the world, right? Yeah. Okay. I could MST this set. The worst it could be for me is like a Jar of Greed. If I do that, that is a potential. Okay. Dueling Book is back. Having a lot of problems over the last few days, but that's okay. That's okay. We love Dueling Book. All right, we'll summon out the poison. I've conceded that it is going to hit the board now. If there's a torrential, there's a torrential. It's no big deal. I wonder what's in the opponent's hand. It's kind of interesting. Just attack with Lord Poison. Hiya. Okay. And I'm just going to pass the turn. I guess they could have more tribute monsters in hand, right? Like Mobius, stuff like that. They are playing at least one Mobius and one Jinzo. A lot of times you just see that split, but sometimes people go a little bit harder on those cards. See if the opponent has any follow-up here. Asura Priest. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and ring that. Protect the Lord Poison. Man, if I had a plant in the graveyard, why is Yomi Ship not a plant? It's literally wood. You know, Solemn? Any Solemn gamers? Okay. All right. I'll take 200. I get my Serpent back, man. The opponent's at 2750, and we know this is Things and Who. Okay. Okay. You want to attack my Serpent, or do you want to leave it on the board? Okay. They are going to attack it. Cool. It's a risky Solemn there. I think if we draw a monster, we'll MST, I think, in the draw phase. Yeah. We'll MST here. Protect from Trap Dust Shoot. We know that is Zing, so let's get back our Sinister Serpent here. And summon out Homunculus, the Alchemic Being. We're going to make it water because we can. Why not? And get in there for 1800. Hopefully, man, hopefully we don't just get got by a BLS. That would be unfortunate. Man, if only we had another Umiruka. All right, what do you got for us, opponent? A lot of good plays here that they could have. Heavy Storm. Uh-oh. Okay. That's a bad start for me. Maybe BLS now? BLS isn't quite lethal, but our Snatch Steel's gone. Yeah. I guess we could draw Abyss Soldier. All right, all right. Just a T-set, Abyss Soldier. Come on. The Kunga? The Kunga is here. Okay. All right. Torrential and Mirror Force are both still live. Yeah, let's get into some tokens here, I think. They have to be in attack position, which is annoying. So if I do summon this and activate it, we'd lose everything if this is exactly Mirror Force. But, man, the upside's pretty high. We could make 2 tokens. I smell blood. Mirror Force isn't real. It cannot hurt me. Okay, Lakunga is here. I'm going to go ahead and activate. Get rid of Lord Poison. And I guess I want to keep Mama Bear around. Well, Yomi Ship's not really an answer to BLS. Let's get rid of Yomi Ship. We'll make a single token. And Petty will hurt me if I don't use the actual Lakunga token. So we're going to go find the Lakunga token. Here it is. Here it is. I don't know if we want to make the second token here. I guess, like, if that's a Sakuretsu armor, it helps out. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Sure. We're not playing around Mirror Force here anyway, so... Alright. Give me another Lakunga token. And we are getting in there. Homunculus, attack right into Mirror Force. No Mirror Force? Oh, thinking. That's not a Mirror Force. Call of the Haunted. Oh, no. We get Jinzo back? I mean, technically I get a replay there, but that's fine. I was going to attack it with Homunculus anyway. Okay, well, we did lose out to Call of the Haunted there, but that's okay. We got a bunch of tokens on the board, just chilling. We've got answers to Jinzo. Where are our creature swaps? Creature swap would go hard here. This has been a fun match. A lot of back and forth here. And just a lot of like resource building too. It's like that first match was just like aggro, kill you, kill you, kill you. In this match, it's like, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to get a bunch of cards in my hand. I'm going to do this and eventually we'll find a way to win the game. Oh, Surrepriest is gross here. Yeah, I went for the lethal and like if this was a Sakuretsu armor, which the opponents only showed one, then we would have won the game. But that's okay. That's okay. Take 700 from the Jinzo, and we're going to take 2,000 here. Yeah, all right. All right. Abyss Soldier does it. Creature Swap does it. I can't remember if we sided in the Smashing Ground or not. I feel like we didn't. Smashing Ground wouldn't win the game here, but it would at least clear the Jinzo. Solemn Judgment. Oh, that doesn't do it. Okay, we'll set that. Set the Terraforming finally. We'll set Sinister Serpent. I'm going to lose this game. All right. The opponent has Jinzo. Noted. We actually would have lost... they still could have summoned a Surrepriest that turn, and like we would have lost 300 less. Sure. Yeah, they're going to attack him with a Surrepriest, and then they're going to attack him with Jinzo. I'm going to make them do it. Okay. We're going to lose this game on the Call of the Haunted play, which is unfortunate. We didn't bring in the Smashing Ground. I'm going to bring in the Smashing Ground and the Book of Moon now that we know about Jinzo. So we got Jinzo and Mobius over there. Okay. I still think I like all of the traps, though, including 7 tools. I think I'm just going to cut the Lacungas completely. Our Lord Poisons get a little worse, but they're still fine. They can bring back Homunculus. They can bring back this one Fairy King Truesdale. Maybe in that case, I go down to 2 Lord Poison, 2 Lacunga. That seems fine. All right, see if we can pull out this game 3 here. And keep a mental note about the Zings and Who, so don't run into that. Hopefully we can pull this one out. Let's go first. I guess this one makes up for the first one being a really short one. Oh, one of these hands. I think this is lead on Torrential Pass. Yeah, I'm just going to set Torrential here and pass the turn. That way... Like, I don't want to summon a monster out and then set Torrential behind it, because, like, what if the opponent just goes, like, Blade Knight, set 4, kill your monster? That kind of sucks. Torrential, obviously, good against Breaker. This gets the opponent to set more back row, and then maybe, like, I can Heavy Storm, then play out my Umiruka. Let's see, the opponent does set 2 cards. You got a monster opponent? I would love to use my Torrential this turn. Rhoda. Okay, that's going to be a monster. Probably... It doesn't have to be Dawn. It is the Donald. Okay. Now I'm going to Torrential that. Hopefully they don't have Premature Burial. But this gets rid of my Torrential too, so now like Heavy Storm now is going to pick up at least a +1. Yeah, they just passed the turn. Good old Fairy King Truesdale. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and slam down this Heavy Storm. Get those out of here. Hopefully we don't have a Jar of Greed. We have a Judgment. Okay. Alright then. That's aggressive. Okay. I'm going to summon Abyss Soldier. And I'm actually going to ditch Fairy King Truesdale to bounce this. And then I'll play out Umiruka. I'll hit him for 2,300, set Call of the Haunted. And get back a giant Fairy King Truesdale. Alright. Get in there, Abyss Soldier. And we know it's not a chainable. The only problem is we don't have a water in hand, because this can only be water on the field. But the opponent's down to 1,700 here on turn 2. We've got an Abyss Soldier. If we can draw into a water, which is most of our monsters, everything except for Breaker and Homunculus, I believe. And even like Breaker, because we saw that probably wasn't a chainable. Breaker could be good here. We'll see. We also just have, you know, like... If this is just one set, we attack with Abyss Soldier, they kill it, we call the Haunted Fairy King Truesdale and kill him. So, water monster to bounce this monster, please. Yes, yes, Mama Bear. Mama Bear coming in clutch. Okay. Yeah, we have this Call of the Haunted, so let's just go ahead and declare. Mama Bear, get this out of here. Okay. I guess I could summon Homunculus. Yeah, sure. Screw it. Why not? I can't think of anything. Like, I guess I could have, like, Wabaku, Threatening Roar, or something like that. But Let's make it a water. And Homunculus, let's get in there. We're going to do a lot of attacking with Abyss Soldier. So yeah, Homunculus dies, goes to the graveyard. Abyss Soldier getting in there for lethal. What a match. What a match. Those first two games were insane. And then this last one just, I mean, the opponent solemned and we just had the perfect response. But even if we didn't draw that Mother Grizzly, well, I'd be interested in what their monster was. Maybe, yeah, I guess if it was like we could just summon out Homunculus. So even if we didn't draw the Mama Bear, we summon out Homunculus. If it's something like a DD Warrior Lady, we attack over that, banish our monster attack, Sakuretsu. We still call the Haunted Back Fairy King Truesdale to win. So we're going to pick this up. Nice 2-0 with plants. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be back with the next one.